I've not really got anything planned to say in this video, so I'm just going to talk as stuff comes into my head. First of all, I've seen a lot of other people's ratings on this show. 7.25, 7.5, even 7.75, and the match ratings as well, particularly the Smackdown Elimination Chamber, which I've seen people giving 3.5, even 4 stars. I'll get onto that obviously in a bit, and there'll be a lot of comparisons in this video, because I just want the very few people that are going to listen to this to actually just think about the comparisons and just take it in as to what I'm actually saying, as to how bad this show is and how much people are overrating this show. And before I start, I just want to say Vince McMahon is absolutely ruining the sport of professional wrestling that I've loved for 20 odd years, and it's beginning to really piss me off. I've never been so close to just quitting watching WWE altogether, to be honest, as I am at the moment. I can't remember back-to-back pay-per-views as bad as the Royal Rumble and this Elimination Chamber. The WWE has obviously had its shite shows in the past, but back-to-back shows as bad as this, I would have to go back and someone would have to point me out 2 shows that have been as bad as this that have been back-to-back. But anyway, the first match was, of course, the Raw Elimination. Oh, can I just say as well, before I get onto it, the structure of the show was diabolical. Who the fuck planned this? Right, the WWE Championship is the most important prize in that company. That's not me saying it. I'm not saying it. The commentators say it. Vince McMahon says it. It's commonly accepted that the WWE Championship is the most important title and prize that you can get in that company. So why the fuck is it opening the show? That's the main event. Why? What? When do you ever see the WWE Championship match open the show? Just because it's the Elimination Chamber, it shouldn't be any different. If WrestleMania next month, WrestleMania opens the show with CM Punk and Chris Jericho for the WWE Championship, which is probably going to happen, that'd be surprising, wouldn't it? That'd be totally wrong. It'd be totally out of the ordinary. So why is it any different this time? The opening match of the show should have either been the SmackDown Elimination Chamber or the impromptu US title match between Jack Swagger and that fucking prick. What's his name? Justin Gabriel. That's it. Either one of those two should have been the opening match. The Raw Elimination Chamber for the WWE Championship should have been the last match. I don't care what anybody says. That should be the way it is, and it should be the way it always is. That's the most important championship. So, but anyway, moving on to that match, the Raw Elimination Chamber. This was a pretty good match, actually. I've got to say, the start of the match, the first 10 or 15 minutes was absolutely brilliant. I thought this was going to be one of the best chambers that we've seen, especially recently. But I will agree, it did taper off somewhat towards the end, the last, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 minutes or so. It definitely tapered off, and it was a bit of an anticlimactic finish. I don't particularly like the way they eliminated Jericho from the match. I can understand why they did it. Obviously, I think I'm right in saying that since he's come back, he's not been pinned or made to submit. So obviously that keeps that trend going. It was the only way to get him out of the match. An injury, quote unquote, was the only way to get him out of the match without him significantly looking weaker than before the match. So, and to keep him strong in what's obviously going to be the feud running up to Mania, which is Punk and Jericho, which I'm actually really looking forward to. I think there should be some cracking stuff in there. So I'm actually hoping that Jericho gets some fan support, so we kind of have two wrestlers like who aren't neither heels or faces, so we can get a bit more of Punk's edgy stuff, because cookie cutter babyface just ain't right. It's not what CM Punk should be doing. So hopefully we can get a bit more edge to his promos when he's interacting with Jericho. That's what I'm hoping anyway. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I liked the match. I think it was pretty good. The stuff with Punk, Kofi Kingston at the start of the match was fantastic. Fantastic, fast-paced action. But the fucking Miz, I mean, come on. If I have to see this guy much longer, he's not right. He shouldn't even be on the pay-per-view. He shouldn't. To my opinion, he's worse than most people on FCW. I've seen quite a few shows from FCW the past few months, and he's worse than most of their roster, without a shadow of a doubt. Maybe in about 4 years, he could open a pay-per-view or get on Raw. But to think that this guy's been a WWE champion, just think of the people that have held that belt: Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan, Austin, etc., etc. I don't need to go through them all. And then the fucking Miz. He looks like an 8-year-old when he tries to get angry with his fucking hair. He looks like a pretty boy who doesn't want to get hurt. He just makes me feel sick watching him. He totally ruined any momentum the match had when he was involved. Totally ruined it. Slowed the pace down. Couple of botches. Typical botches. Nice one, Miz, for nearly killing R-Truth anyway. But yeah, the guy's a fucking joke. He needs to get away. Just go away from the main event. It's terrible. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, it was a good match. Match rating will be below, but I thought that was a decent match. The Raw Elimination Chamber, best match of the night by a mile. And even that saying something. Moving on to what was next? I'm not going to spend too long on this, but the segment, the Raw segment. Why was this not on Raw? This 10 minutes or even less than that, if they just give 5 more minutes to the US title match, which was actually looking to be a pretty good match, that could have been given this time. But instead we get fuckface Laurinaitis, and we get what a shitty return for Christian as well. How anticlimactic was that return? This is he was in one of their main event programs before he got injured, and this is how they bring him back. It made him feel just like an also-ran. He should have been brought back into the Smackdown Elimination Chamber. So, getting onto that this is my main issue with a lot of reviews that I've seen and heard. This match was diabolical. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. This was terrible. This was probably one of the worst Elimination Chambers. I can't think of them all, but this was one of the worst Elimination Chambers I've ever seen. It's got to be. It's got to be in the top 3. The start of the match was fucking atrocious. It was slow. The crowd were dead. The people that are rating this match highly, just go back and rewatch the first 10-12 minutes of the match. The crowd were absolutely silent. Dead silent. It was like being in a fucking library until Santino Marella came in and he got his little pop, and the crowd, they weren't. This is the problem. The crowd weren't behind him. They were just taking the piss. They don't care. They don't give a shit about him. And the problem is now Vince McMahon will probably hear the reaction that he was getting, and he'll probably think that he deserves a push, an actual main event push. And if that happens, I am going to stop watching WWE. For it, that's it. If he gets a push, and if he ever becomes the WWE champion, I said to myself while watching the show, if he wins this match, I was 99% sure that he wouldn't, but I actually thought to myself, if he wins this, that's it. I'm not watching anymore, because this is fucking bollocks. The crowd, they weren't behind him in the way that you want a crowd to get behind someone. They were behind him because they thought it was funny and they were taking the piss out of him. That's all it is. They treated him as a joke, but Vince McMahon will probably think that he's actually seriously over, which is going to be a grave mistake. It really is. And as for the Great Khali, well, what was the fucking point of that? Eliminated straight away. They should have left that spot open, and that's where Christian should have returned as the last entrant into this Elimination Chamber. It would have meant something. It would have meant a whole lot more than coming out and kissing Laurinaitis' fucking arse. It's just shit booking. It's shit constantly pissing me off, the booking. It's just terrible. It's fucking stuff an 8-year-old could write. I've been watching wrestling for about 22 years, and I've never seen booking as bad as this. I'm telling you. There was a couple of innovative spots in this match. I'll admit that. I don't think I've ever seen. I might be wrong, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody climb over and get into a pod. I can remember Goldberg smashing Triple H's pod and sort of attacking him while he was in there. But I've never seen anyone, especially Big Show size. That was quite a feat for him to get over there and into the pod, I must admit. But it didn't mask the fact that this was fucking atrocious. It was slow. Whose booking idea was it to have Big Show and Wade Barrett at the start of the match, plodding around the ring like two fucking giant beetles? Come on, you can't do that. And yeah, people giving this match 4 stars, 4.25 stars. I've seen 4.25 stars. Think about this, 4.25 stars. I gave last year's Smackdown Elimination Chamber 4.25 stars. Go and watch that match. The last 6-7 minutes between Edge and Rey Mysterio was 4.25 stars in itself. Just go back and watch last year's Smackdown Elimination Chamber, and I give that 4.25 stars. The people that are giving this anywhere near similar need their head tested. They need to be like sectioned. You can't be giving this match that high a score. No way on God's earth can you give this match that high a score. No way. So yeah, as I thought, Daniel Bryan won. Sheamus came out. I weren't happy about that booking either. Sheamus just totally destroying Daniel Bryan in like 10 seconds. So they may as well give the title to Sheamus now, aren't they? There's no logic to the booking, is there, Vince? You fucking grey man. You old twat. No logic to it. You need to keep Bryan. They're going to bury Bryan in the run-up to Mania, and they may as well just give the title to Sheamus right now, because that's obviously what's going to happen at WrestleMania. Not that I give a fuck. I'm no Daniel Bryan fanboy or anything like that, but I don't know. Moving on anyway, I'm running out of time. The US title match was okay. Not a bad little match. It was, as I say, with another 6 to 8 minutes, this could have been really good. The 6 to 8 minutes that fucking segment took up could have gone into this match, an actual wrestling match, Vince. You fucking strutting around like a peacock, you grey twat. Yeah, decent little match. I'd like to see another match between these two actually with a bit more time. So, moving on, the last match, which should never have been the last match, Kane and John Cena. This was okay, but I need to get this complaint in before I run out of time. John Cena, oh my God, you fucking steroid freak. Just go I'm praying this man gets a serious injury, because he is ruining wrestling. Not that he already hasn't, but it reiterates it every time I see this bastard in the ring. Why is it, this is meant to be a feud-ending match, like violent ambulance match. Cena's meant to be fighting for his life, and he gets the microphone halfway through the match when they're on the outside brawling and says to Booker T, "Did I make it into your Fave 5?" Laughing away. That just killed the match. Killed it dead for me. Why you can't interject comedy into a match like this? It's not Chikara, you fucking crew cut. What are you doing? And then he's laughing and joking after the match, like it's all a joke, like it didn't mean anything anyway. I mean, no selling. Go back and watch. Watch people that can actually sell and learn to sell, because you're not putting anything over. Nothing means anything if you don't sell it, Cena. You fucking steroid munching prick. You can't just run around after the match smiling and laughing like it. You're meant to be. Look at Stone Cold Steve Austin after WrestleMania 13 against Bret the Hitman Hart. Passed out, dragging his legs along the floor, couldn't walk out of the arena himself. This is what you should be like. This is what you should be like after a feud-ending 20-minute violent ambulance match. You can't no-sell in this situation, you tosser. So, that killed the match. As soon as he got that microphone and he started joking with Booker T about this Fave 5, that killed the match. So, I'm running out of time, so that's it. The pay-per-view score will be below, but it won't be anywhere near as fucking high as other people have got it, put it that way. Cheers, Vince, once again. Another... you fucking prick.